The Persistent Rumor presents Chocolate Yoddah Live. Hello and welcome to another installment of Chocolate Yoddah Live. Today is, let's see what my calendar says, Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. I am Chocolate Yoddah, spelled Y-O-D-D-A-H, because film studios are litigious. And today, there's so much on my mind. I kind of want to talk about Donnie Dump and his indictments, because that's fun. I guess the only real thought I have about that, the only thought worth sharing, I guess, is that I think this is pretty much the end of the road for him. I know this is something that people debate, which is the idea of, is it possible for him to see prison? So here's the thing. Technically speaking, there is a way to have a federal or state prison, I believe. I know federal for sure. You can have a prison with only one person in it. And why is that important? Because obviously, even though I don't refer to him as president, he is the ex-White House squatter, in my mind. He has secrets in his head. And so putting him any place with other people is not going to happen. And so people just assume that there's no way he can go to jail because of that. But because you can have a prison of just one person, this is now possible. And I think these indictments, or this indictment with, I think, 37 counts, and we're talking about espionage, obstruction of government. These are serious charges. These are federal charges. And I believe that the case is airtight. I'm not a lawyer. I just play one in my mother's fantasies. But from listening to lawyers talk about this, it doesn't seem like he's got a way out. I mean, he's incriminated himself publicly on many different occasions. They have him on tape admitting that he knew he had classified documents. I mean, I think this is an airtight case. I don't see any way he's going to get around it. And if they hit him with every count, cumulatively, you're looking at over 500 years. I think I saw 526 or 536 years, something like that. And minimum is like 100 years. Of course, most of the time that people are convicted, they're not sentenced consecutively. They're sentenced concurrently. So, even if he gets 10 years in jail at his age, that's kind of a life sentence. But more importantly, it'll be finally an indication that justice comes for the elites the same way it comes for everyone else. And, this doesn't change the entire justice system, of course, but it is significant. This is one of those things where we are living history right now. This is a first. This has never happened before, where the ex-White House squatter got in this kind of legal trouble. Yes, past presidents have gotten traffic tickets and things like that, but this is major, major, major news. And I think I said major too many times there, but anyway. So really what's on my mind today, and before I forget, hello folks on Wisdom. Let's see. So far we have 2 people listening on Wisdom. That's exciting. Very often I'm talking to myself on Wisdom, so this is a banner moment for me. But I'm simulcasting, easy for me to say, to the Wisdom app. And if you want to see my beautiful face, you can go to youtube.com /at the persistent rumor. Let me try that again. youtube.com /at the persistent rumor, and click on the live tab, or if you want to type streams, I think that's where it is in the address bar. But you can see my beautiful face there if you want to. So what is on my mind today? Well, it's close to officially being summer on the calendar, although weather-wise, it's been summer for about a month now, right? And it reminds me every year that summer is my favorite season. I think partly because I was born in the tropics where it's hot and maybe my DNA is suited for that. I don't know. But also, I love summer because women wear less clothing. Now, the bad part about summer is that women wear less clothing. Okay, some women don't need to be wearing less clothing. But that's okay. I love you all. I really do. I love women. I just think most of you are goofy. And, I don't think that's a conflict. Don't you have like someone you love in your life that maybe has a weird sense of humor and you think they're goofy, or they're just kind of, just not quite bright in all areas of their life? Like, they're a decent person, but they're kind of goofy. And you love them anyway, right? That doesn't change how much you love that person. You just, it's part of the paradigm. You love this person and this person happens to be goofy. Well, that's how I feel about women. All right. And I know some people don't like that, but that's okay. Luckily, I don't care. But anyway, when I think about women wearing less clothing, I instantly think about Instagram, where you can find me at The Persistent Rumor. But Instagram is amazing to me. I'm only really on it because I have a podcast and I promote myself all over the internet. Whatever platform will host me, I will blast myself on there, and I'm fine to whore myself out that way. But Instagram is particularly interesting to me because it really kind of democratized beauty standards. Like it used to be that only, the top 1% of women on the planet got modeling contracts, or let's be more generous. Let's say top 10%. Okay. I don't know exactly how to quantify that, but I'm just going to assume it's somewhere in that range, 1 to 10% of women, right? Those are the ones that, get tapped to become actresses, although that's not a prerequisite necessarily to being an actress. Those are the women that modeling agents look for. They're strolling the streets looking for women who look a certain way, and it's a narrow window of, what is acceptable in the modeling world, right? And for a very, very long time in American culture, those were the only people that could get modeling contracts, right? So now you have a situation where anyone with a phone or a camera can become a model. Oh, wow, I think it's starting to rain around here. And I think I might have a window open, so you might hear a little rain. Anyway, so on Instagram, anyone can get on there, right? And I think this is a good thing, just like I think YouTube has democratized entertainment. We're at the point now where like stand-up comics are premiering their specials on YouTube for free. Some of them have found a way to charge for that, like Andrew Schultz. But most of them put them on there for free, put it on YouTube for free. So that's great. That means that all of the traditional gatekeepers to modeling and entertainment are really no longer needed. And, we found a way around them. And I love that. Like I just sent my best friend a link to this woman, and I do that all the time. I send him links to women that I find interesting and all that because I like a certain type of woman. I don't really have a type necessarily. Like if you look at my dating history, it kind of looks like the evolutionary scale, right? And all races, all shapes and sizes. But I tend to gravitate toward larger women, no pun intended. But I do love fat women, and I don't know why it's a problem saying fat. Some people are fat. I'm fat. Some people are fat. So fat is the word that I'm going to use. I have my limits. There's, I don't like amorphous fat. I like women that are still curvy, even though they're fat. But there are some women on there who I don't find attractive and have huge followings. And this is the link that I sent my friend, and I won't name her, but it's this woman who I think is very like cookie cutter body wise, because she got the same surgery that a lot of women got. And her face is just kind of okay. There's nothing spectacular about it. And she has 2 million followers on Instagram. Fantastic. That's amazing. This is a woman who in no way, shape, or form would have been able to get, the generic modeling contracts, because the gatekeepers in the modeling industry would have rejected her. So I think it's absolutely spectacular that this woman has been able to monetize what I think are average standard looks, and it is kind of odd to me that these women are all getting the same kind of surgery, and it's unnecessary. Ladies, please listen to what I'm going to tell you right now. All of this stuff that you're doing to yourself, aside from being dangerous, is unnecessary. Men are going to find you attractive. Do you think women always had this surgery? How did the human species propagate so successfully hundreds of thousands of years before makeup was invented? Because it's not necessary. Men who are attracted to women are going to be attracted to you. Okay? Bottom line, all this stuff, and it's also kind of ironic. I'll look at a typical photo of an Instagram model, and I see hair extensions, fake eyelashes, sometimes eye surgery to change the shape of their eye, sometimes cheek surgery, nose surgery, lip surgery, or lip fillers. And then we have fake breasts and tummy tucks and fat sucked out of the thighs, and then high heels and Spanx and all this. It's like, wow, you don't need to do this. And the ultimate irony is when a woman like that turns to the camera and says, I want a real man. That's hilarious. Like, you're the $6 million woman. What are you talking about? Your whole body is bionic. And you want a real man? Come on. But anyway, it's unnecessary, ladies. You truly don't need to do that. Men find women beautiful. It's just that simple. And we find all sorts of women beautiful. As I said, it's not a joke. My dating history has a variety of women in it from several different races, from, hair color, eye color, all that stuff. I've had gingers, blondes, brunettes, strawberry blonde, dirty blondes, dirty blondes. I'm thinking of one blonde in particular on that one. But, it's, I like I said, I don't have a type, and that is better for me, because when I walk around or drive around, I am fascinated by so many different women. I haven't dated a dwarf yet. I don't know if I would, but who knows? There was one dwarf that I saw. She was, a suicide girl. And just in case you don't know, I'm not talking about people who want to commit the S word, which I think I'm not supposed to say on YouTube for some reason, but it's a group, it's sort of an entity online called the Suicide Girls, and these are mostly tattooed women, very Betty Page aesthetic kind of thing. And there was this one dwarf, I don't recall her name right now, but she was a suicide girl, and they photographed her in a way that kind of hid the disproportion of her body, but her body was pretty spectacular. She did have fake breasts, but I don't mind looking at them. I have touched fake breasts twice. They weren't great to touch, but certainly in clothes and sometimes even nude, they look pretty good. But she's the only one. She's really the only dwarf that I looked at and I found attractive. But hey, hope springs eternal. Maybe one day I'll run into a dwarf and she's into me and I'm into her, and let the good times roll, as the Cars sang. But yeah, ladies, I know I'm going off on a tangent, which I generally usually do, but it really makes me sad when women don't think they're attractive, when, as my second ex-wife used to say, there's a lid for every pot. There's going to be someone out there that finds you attractive, and it's most likely going to be me, because I find so many women attractive. And beyond that, in general, I find women beautiful, and I don't mind how goofy you are, even though sometimes it's infuriating. But it's all right, So summertime, women are, it's kind of to the point where, like, okay, let's go back to Instagram, right? Theoretically, Instagram's policy is that no nudity is allowed, right? And yet I see women wearing string bikinis, right? And so that's allowed. They're turning around with their butt facing the camera, and all there is at the very top is a tiny string, and somehow that's not considered nude. Now, I'm not advocating for Instagram to clamp down on that. Let them keep doing that. That's fine. But I think it's funny that there's no nudity, and yet they allow that. And then women are also going on with see-through tops on, getting around the nudity clause that way. So it's kind of interesting. But back to summertime, it is interesting that women are just deciding, and of course not all women, this is just a few women that I see on the street. They're just deciding to bear as much as they possibly can without, I guess, being arrested for indecent exposure. And I hope they never get arrested for indecent exposure. Easy for me to say. But if you choose to do that, please don't be mad at guys that are looking at you. If they say something rude, that's another thing. If they approach you, that's another thing. I get that. That's creepy, and it's, and it's uncomfortable, and I'm on your side about that. But if guys are just looking at you, please, what's the point of being? Why would you dress that way if you didn't expect people to look at you? And please don't hit me with the, oh, I do it just for me. All right, then stay home. If you're doing it just for you, then stay home wearing that just for you, which I never believe anyway. Like, women say that about makeup, which, by the way, is false advertising. You don't look like that. You are making yourself up to look a different way than you actually look. You are engaging in false advertising. I get it. It's part of the mating dance. You're signaling, and I get it. But then to hit me with, well, I do it just for me. Yeah, I know you might believe that, but really? You're doing it just for you? Come on. Anyway, I'm kind of in a goofy mood today. I think it's low blood sugar, maybe. I don't know. But I think that's it, Summertime, Donnie Dump getting indicted, women wearing less clothing, Instagram models. It's all in there. So once again, this has been Chocolate Yoddah Live. I've been Chocolate Yoddah. Look at my t-shirt. It says Chocolate Chat Podcast. It's one of my podcasts, along with The Persistent Rumor. And this has been a blast. I really have enjoyed this session of Chocolate Yoddah Live. And with that, I will leave you. Peace, love, and granola. Talk to you soon.